From the Collins Aerospace Studio at the Nordloff Center in downtown Rockford, it's time for Bergstrom's State Line Quiz Bowl.
Hello and welcome to Bergstrom State Line Quiz Bowl. I'm your host, Greg Peterson. Now today we have two teams that have only played once before. Let's meet them. The Winnebago Indians were our season 9 champion. Last season didn't end quite as they wished, but let's go ahead and meet this year's team. Carson, you're the captain. Why don't you go ahead and introduce your team?
To my left is Linnea, to my right is Merrick, and to my far right is Micah.
Welcome. And facing off against them today, it is the 7th appearance on the State Line Quiz Bowl for the Forreston Cardinals. Danica, let's meet your team.
To my left is Colton, to my right is Ty, and to my far right is Thomas.
Welcome. Let's go ahead and start with today's buzz-in round, which is brought to you by Rockford University. It's fingers on the buzzers, 10 points for every right answer. We know how this works right now, so let's go ahead and start playing. First question. What 2024 Sony film, a major flop, starred, that is Carson.
Madam Web.
Is correct. Next question. What country, whose monarch is called the Dragon King, is home? Merrick.
Thailand.
That's correct. What painting featuring a lute next to a globe includes an anamorphic skull and is a double portrait by Hans Holbein the Younger depicting some diplomats? Carson.
The Peacemakers.
That's incorrect. Forreston with a chance to steal. That's time. It's called The Ambassadors. Next question. What MLB team, which signed Matt Chapman and Blake Snell in 2024, plays at Oracle Park, whose right field fence is at the edge of a California bay? Carson.
The Lakers.
No. Forreston with a chance to steal. That's time. It's San Francisco Bay. That's the San Francisco Giants. Next question. The album I've Tried Everything But Therapy, Part 1, was released by what musician who sang Something's Got a Hold of Me Lately in his song Lose Control? Carson?
Smith.
No. That's time. That's Teddy Swims, or apparently Jayton Dimsdale. Next question. What body of water receives the Shat al-Arab river system, is connected to the Gulf of Oman by the Strait of Hormuz, and is southwest? Merrick.
Red Sea.
That's incorrect. And I'll finish the question for Forreston. And is southwest of Iran. That's time. That's the Persian Gulf. In what 1516 book by Thomas More does Raphael Hythloday travel to the tidal island and observe an ideal society and form of government? Carson.
Utopia.
Is correct. In what city's 2023 mayoral race did Paul Vallis lose to progressive Brandon Johnson after helping unseat its first black woman leader, Lori Lightfoot? Merrick.
Chicago.
That's right. In 1543, Andreas Vesalius discussed digitalis, a drug used to treat what condition of abnormal electrical patterns in the heart? Carson?
Like heart disease?
No. Thomas?
High blood pressure.
No, this is called arrhythmia. It's when it's out of sync. What object launched in 1957 from the Baikonur Cosmodrome? Carson.
Sputnik.
Is correct. Goats were often sacrificed when people consulted the Pythia at what temple dedicated to a... That's Merrick.
Oh, no. The Pantheon.
No, that's incorrect. So I'll finish for Forreston. At what temple dedicated to Apollo? That's time. That's the Oracle at Delphi. Everybody's back in for the next question. What emperor built the Golden House, or Domus Aurea, in the aftermath of the AEDs? That is Carson.
Nero.
Nero is correct. We were about to get into the Great Fire and the fiddling. What playwright who wrote Homebody/Kabul made the AIDS crisis the background for supernatural events in his two-part play, Angels in America? Carson?
Miller.
That's incorrect. And that's time. That's Tony Kushner there. And that's the end of the round. So Winnebago off to an early lead of 60. Forreston yet to get on the board, but you'll have another chance in our volleyball round right after this. And welcome back to Bergstrom State Line Quiz Bowl. Now we have a 50-0 score right now, and keen-eyed viewers might have remembered that that used to say 60. That's because of an error I made that's been caught by our judge today. The question where the player answered Thailand, the answer to that was Bhutan. So that's the score as you see, but we wouldn't have had that fix if it weren't for our judge today, who is Lynn Stainbrook, Executive Director of the Rockford Public Library. So Lynn, thank you for your help today, making sure everything's on the up and up, and making sure that I get everything the way it should be as well. So we're back in for the volleyball round, which is teamwork questions where it will bounce back and forth between the two teams and the players will have a chance to collaborate with their classmates. We're starting this volleyball round with a question for Winnebago. Everybody ready? Let's go. Winnebago, what activist became the first American woman to win the Nobel Peace Prize, honoring a settlement house that she created in Chicago called Hull House?
Adams.
Yes, Jane Addams. Forreston, what particles are the main product of spallation sources, are made of an up quark and two down quarks, and, along with protons, form an atom's nucleus?
Electrons?
I'm sorry, it's neutrons. Back to Winnebago. According to Vesper theory, what molecular geometry is exhibited by the triatomic molecule carbon dioxide?
Like carbon rings?
Carbon rings?
No, it's linear. They just line up. Forreston. What orphan is mistakenly sent to live with Matthew and Marilla Cuthbert, who own a farm on Prince Edward Island, in a series by Lucy Maud Montgomery? That's time, I'm afraid. It's Anne Shirley, or Anne of Green Gables. Winnebago. What last name is shared by Phil, the current governor of Vermont, and a senator from Florida who was that state's governor from 2011 to 2019?
No, it's the guy before DeSantis. I'm going to say DeSantis. Right.
DeSantis?
No, it's Scott. That's Rick Scott that we didn't give you the name on. Forreston. What politician, whom Joseph Welch asked if he had no sense of decency during a 1954 hearing, was a Wisconsin senator who led anti-communist crusades?
McCarthy?
Joe McCarthy's right. Winnebago. What state's Arches National Park contains the 52-foot tall delicate arch, which is depicted on its license plates?
Utah?
Is correct. Forreston, what opera, which is based on a novel by Prosper Mérimée, includes a habanera sung by the title seductive gypsy woman and is by Georges Bizet?
No answer.
It's Carmen. Winnebago. Which constitutional amendment requires probable cause for the issuing of warrants and prohibits unreasonable searches and seizures?
Fourth?
It is. Forreston, what region, which is home to two Tinos and Q Buenos, is closer to the sun than the Oort cloud and is a belt named for a Dutch astronomer? That's time, I'm afraid. It's the Kuiper belt. And Winnebago? What artist painted his wife, Aline Charigot, playing with a dog on a balcony in Luncheon of the Boating Party?
Monet?
It's Renoir, I'm afraid. And that's the end of the round. We'll be back with our Bergstrom bonus question right after this.
Patrick, Sandy, and Mr. Krabs are characters from which long-running animated television series?
And welcome back. Now it's time for the Bergstrom bonus question. This is on the buzzer, but you're not playing for points. You're playing for a pizza and pasta party from Salamone's Italian Restaurant. So fingers on buzzers, here we go. Patrick, Sandy, and Mr. Krabs are characters from which? That is Merrick.
SpongeBob SquarePants.
Is correct. So congratulations, you won a pizza and pasta party, compliments of Salamone's, and we'll be right back for the lightning round after this. Hi, and welcome back to Bergstrom State Line Quiz Bowl. Now it's time for today's lightning round, which is powered by IBEW NECA. Now the lightning round, we've got 3 possibilities here, and Forreston, you're going to have your pick of which categories you want. So your choices are American poetry, music by the numbers, and classic film titles.
Music by the numbers.
Music by the numbers, okay. So I'm going to ask you to give these numbers from music. It's worth pointing out right now, answers might repeat. So if you say something for one, don't assume it's ruled out for everything else. You've got 60 seconds for 10 questions. All the answers need to come from you, Ty, and Winnebago. Be ready, because you'll have 30 seconds to clean up anything they miss. We're ready? Here we go. Musicians in an octet.
8.
Yes. Ludwig van Beethoven's final completed symphony.
5th.
No. Lines on a treble clef staff.
5.
Yes. Keys on a grand piano.
88.
Yes. Valves on a standard trumpet.
3.
Yes. Either number in the time signature that's also known as cut time.
2.
Yes. Pedals on a concert harp.
3.
No. The unusual number of movements in Symphonie Fantastique.
3.
No. The beats in a whole rest in common time.
4.
Yes. And half steps in a tritone.
6.
That's correct, and you didn't pass anything, so your side of it's done. You got 7 correct there, which leaves us just 3 for Winnebago to have 30 seconds to clean it up. Here we go. Ludwig van Beethoven's final completed symphony.
9.
That's right. Pedals on a concert harp.
5.
No. Unusual number of movements in Symphonie Fantastique.
5.
That's 5. So you picked up 2 of those, and a standard concert harp has 7 pedals. So that's 70 points for Forreston, 20 for Winnebago, but now Winnebago has the pick of lightning rounds themselves. Winnebago, what you have left is your choice of American poetry or classic film titles.
Classic films.
Classic film titles. I'm going to give you part of the title. I need you to give me the word that completes the titles of these films. 60 seconds on the clock. Here we go. 1939, The Wizard of Blank.
Oz.
Yes. 1952, Singin' in the Blank.
Rain.
Yes. 1939, Gone with the Blank.
Wind.
Yes. 1959, Some Like It Blank.
Hot.
Yes. 1968, Night of the Living Blank. Say again?
Dead.
That's right. 1946, It's a Wonderful Blank.
Life.
Yes. 1939, Mr. Smith Goes to Blank
Washington.
is right. 1967, Guess Who's Coming to Blank?
Town.
No. 1948, The Treasure of the Sierra Blank.
Madre.
Say again?
Madre.
No. And 1957, The Bridge on the River Blank.
Say again. Kwai.
Yes. And Winnebago, after a little bit of further checking, you did get 9 right in that round. I had heard Padre, but we checked it, and with the judges, it is the Treasure of the Sierra Madre, and that's what you said. So that's 9 right for you, and 1 remaining question coming back Forreston's way. Forreston, you have 30 seconds if you need it. 1967, Guess Who's Coming to Blank?
America.
I love it, but it's incorrect, I'm afraid. That is Guess Who's Coming to Dinner. So that is 90 points Winnebago's way and none for Forreston on the steal, but I like that you guys took the time to talk it through and make sure you were certain. So we will be right back for our final challenge after this. And welcome back to the Quiz Bowl. Today's final challenge is brought to you by Mercy Health. So we currently have a 110-point lead for Winnebago, but in this final challenge, every single question on the buzzer is going to be worth 20 points, so a lot can change very quickly. Pick up your buzzers. Good luck, both teams. Here we go. What country, where islanders exchange gifts in the Kula tradition, counts over 800 indigenous languages and is governed from, Merrick?
New Guinea.
That's incorrect, and is governed from Port Moresby. Ty?
Hawaii.
No, it's Papua New Guinea, which is the country. New Guinea is the island. Next question. What NHL franchise suspended operations in 2024 with its players and staff moving north to become the Utah Hockey Club? Merrick?
Coyotes.
Is right, the Arizona Coyotes. What woman who led 3 steamboats in South Carolina during the Combahee River Raid escaped slavery in Maryland before Carson?
Tubman.
Is correct. What city that was home to the House of the Tragic Poet and the House of the Faun was buried in ash in AD 79? That's Carson.
Pompeii.
Is correct. The eruption of Mount Vesuvius there. What poem, which describes how poppies blow between rows of crosses? Merrick?
In Flanders Fields.
Afraid. Out of time, didn't rule on the answer, and I finish for Forreston. Was written by John McCrae to commemorate fallen soldiers in World War I. That's time. Merrick, you did have it, you just weren't in time. It's In Flanders Fields. What single-celled organisms, which include those in genus Candida, are a type of fungi, some of which are used to produce alcohol in fermentation? Carson?
Yeast.
Yeast. Backyard furnaces were encouraged as part of what failed 1958 to 1962 program ordered by Mao Zedong to rapidly... Carson?
The Great Leap Forward.
Is correct. What Romanian playwright based conversations between the Smiths and Martins on dialogues for English language learners in his play, The Bald Soprano? Carson?
Gogol.
That's incorrect. Forreston with a chance to steal if they want it. And now a bit of a hard one there. That's Eugene Ionesco. Wrote in French but was Romanian. What data type, named after an English mathematician, can have Merrick?
Boolean.
Well done on that buzz. 2 possible values, only true or false. What dynasty, which sponsored Zheng He's travels across the Indian Ocean? Merrick?
Ming.
The Ming Dynasty. Well done. What country holds the world's oldest ultramarathon, the Comrades Marathon, an annual race between its cities of Durban and Pietermaritzburg? Carson?
Russia.
Incorrect. Forreston with a chance. Ty.
Germany.
That one is South Africa, which is why some of those sound so German. That's the end of the round and the end of the game, and our winners with 330 are Winnebago. Winnebago, if my statistics are right, that is the 8th consecutive season in which you've made it to the round 2. So congratulations, and we'll see you again in a few months. Forreston, it's been a pleasure having you. You've been up against a steamroller today, but acquitted yourself very well. So well done, and thank you all for watching. We'll see you next time.